So how did it happen in your case for Apple? A lot of people would be interested. Like, how do you get a call from Apple?
Yeah, so for me, it was the last option actually.
Okay.
I applied from LinkedIn, and then it sort of worked for me.
Okay, great. But I feel that your LinkedIn presence and also everything else also contributed to some extent
Yeah.
in your like getting a call from them after your application. So let's assume that you are doing a long-term mentorship anyways on Preplace. Let's assume that you get a mentee today, right? And that person wants to go to Apple or a lot of different big companies. How do you generally approach as a mentor? That let's say some mentee comes, what is the general roadmap that you go about or way you approach mentorship?
Yeah, so I personally believe that one roadmap cannot fill all, and that is why even whoever approaches me, take at least 30 minutes to 1 hour to understand their past experience, even if they're fresher, what their mindset is. Are they good at DSA? Are they good at their projects? What is their domain knowledge level? What are their expectations with jobs? What are their future goals? Do they just want a job for the name of it, or do they really enjoy being solving problems? Because that tells you that how to make the candidate prepare for the opportunities to come. So my first step is to always understand their history, to understand their goals, their expectations from me, and then basically figure out. And I personally do not promise anyone anything, because you never know what the market is. But what you can be absolutely sure of is yourself, your skills, and a belief that if things are not working out today, they will definitely work out tomorrow for you. So I absolutely believe in upskilling an individual in such a manner that maybe if not a product based company that they wished for today, they would definitely get there in 6 months or a year,
Hmm.
get something of comparable at that point of time. So giving example, let's say you didn't get into Swiggy, but you got into Zomato. Both
Hmm.
are excellent tech startups doing amazing work. So on those sorts of things, because interviewers, in this switching companies or getting into companies, I believe it's not always that you give your absolutely best and still you'll get into it, because it's a comparable thing, right? Maybe you did your absolute best, but the other person did not perceive it that way.
Hmm.
So one should not lose hope. So as a mentor, I believe that you need not only technical guidance, but some grooming on personal level as well, to get that into the mindset that one should not, if things don't go their way, then one should not be, absolutely broken by it, because this world is full of opportunities. If not this, then maybe next, and you
Hmm.
will get there. I absolutely believe in that. So yeah, that's my key principles of being a mentor, and
Hmm.
that's how I try to be with the people who I mentor as well.
Hmm. Understood. So, next question, which is one of the very common questions, that there are so many roadmaps now out there for specifically for software engineering roles, and very clearly it is everywhere. It is data structures and algorithms clearly defined, and a lot of people confuse that do I just need to do DSA or do I need to do more of system design as well? Do I need to do more of domain knowledge as well? And you mentioned that you had interviews on DSA as well as domain knowledge in your Apple interviews as well. So, what do you generally recommend your mentees? Like, how do you give them suggestion on this aspect?
Yeah. I think so. DSA and domain knowledge will always be there. It just the weight depends on the years of experience you have in the industry, and
Hmm.
that's what I believe in. If you're just starting out, or let's say you have 1 or 2 years of experience, you have built things. Yes, you have domain knowledge. Yes, but Do you have the complete understanding of the architecture, of the technologies that you worked with? Maybe no. So companies have no choice but to rely on a system that tells them some competencies of that individual, and that turns out to be DSA for now. I'm saying for now because I am seeing a shift in the patterns that companies are now interviewing. They used to be core DSA, maybe even today there are some companies that are doing core DSA, but if you look at good product companies, there's always a split where they are now asking you not only DSA, but they are giving you real life problems, open problems. And they're seeing your mindset, how you approach it, and how your problem solution is towards it. And these being open-ended problems means that there is no absolutely correct answer to it. It just depends how you're approaching it. How are you able to make a case for yourself that the solution that you're offering is something that can optimize the situation in hand and deliver accordingly. So that's the split that I always recommend, that if you're starting out, let's say, then you need to be sort of 70-30, 70 DSA, 30 domain knowledge. If you are someone who is 3 or 4 years of experience, then that split, the importance given to DSA comes down. So maybe it's 40-60 now. And within 60 splits into, let's say, core domain knowledge into 30-30, 50-50. It will be 50% absolutely the core technology. Maybe you're a Java backend developer, so you need to understand Java, Spring Boot, Spring applications in and out. And then 50% would be into the designing of those applications, the security aspects of it. How do you scale your application from, let's say, 100 users to 10,000 users to 1 million users? So as your years of experience grows, the core questions or the core competencies that are evaluated on, they remain the same, but the weightage to each competency differs. I strongly believe that LinkedIn is the best platform to attract opportunity. And that's what even I tell people around, that whatever you're learning, showcase it on LinkedIn. Because that platform gives you a visibility that your resume cannot. As a recruiter, if I'm searching for, let's say, profiles in UI development, and if my profile pops up in top 20 results, I get a very good chance of getting a call from that interviewer, or email from that recruiter saying that, okay, we are hiring and are you interested, and you know how that goes. So I say that the best sort of opportunity to get into these companies is build your profile in such a way, post content, relevant content on LinkedIn that helps you get that visibility for the recruiters across companies. If that is not someone, or if that is not something that you're comfortable with, because not everyone is socially upward that way. People, I know absolute great minds working in the industry who are not even on LinkedIn. So the second way is that you build a network around yourself. You interact with people. Maybe offline, you have that sort of network where you know people who are working in great companies and they personally know you. So try to get in referrals. LinkedIn is a good platform, but my only concern about LinkedIn is if you shoot out emails to people you don't know and you don't make a strong case for yourself, you don't get in that referrals. Because putting a referral means that according to the companies, you know that person individually and taking a sort of a stand for that person, right? So that puts some sort of responsibility on that individual as well, who is referring you. So just make sure that whenever you're asking for a referral on LinkedIn or any other platform for that matter, make a strong case for yourself. If you don't personally know that person, let them know what challenging projects you worked on, how this opportunity is relevant for you, and how you can bring impact given you get shortlisted in that whole process. So that will help you make a case for yourself and give confidence to the other person that, okay, he has worked on this technologies, he has solved these challenging problems. Maybe it's a good idea to have that person in our company because he looks a perfect fit for it. And lastly would be, I think that everyone does is either cold mailing or applying on job portals, Naukri and LinkedIn and Indeed. That works, but that depends on from company to company how the filtering process is, how they automate their resume screening, and that gets mostly frustrating for people around because the number of postings versus the number of applicants, the ratio is huge.
So how did it happen in your case for Apple? A lot of people would be interested. Like, how do you get a call from Apple?
Yeah, so for me, it was the last option actually.
Okay.
I applied from LinkedIn, and then it sort of worked for me.
Okay, great. But I feel that your LinkedIn presence and also everything else also contributed to some extent
Yeah.
in your like getting a call from them after your application. Yeah. So just final like couple of questions. If there are a lot of people who probably are currently in their preparation journey, a lot of people who might be struggling with even consistency or probably even not having that clear vision of how to able to crack it. So as a mentor and as like someone who has been in the industry for almost 4 years plus and working at a top company, what would be your one piece of advice that you would like to share in a summary form with them?
Yeah, so one piece of advice would be disciplined. I know there are bad days, but there are absolute good days to come. Some days you put 10 hours of effort, some days you put 2. So it's always advisable to not go into the guilt trip where you only put 2 hours and feel, okay, I wasted my time. No, because not every day is the same.
Hmm.
And so just not every day you'll put in the same productivity that you can do. There are multiple factors around the preparation time that goes through your mindset. Maybe you got stuck into one of those questions that you could not solve, and then it just brings your morale down that, okay, what if this question's come and I'm not able to solve it? So my only advice is be disciplined and don't give up. If you don't understand something, it's absolutely fine. If you are not able to answer anything in your interviews, absolutely fine. You just
Hmm.
need to be aware of how you are approaching a problem and how you are communicating that how are you approaching a problem.
Hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I I always say this: no one is expecting you to know it all. Even if you today ask me, tell me how JavaScript works ins and out, I will not know it 100%. I can give you in writing. And
Hmm.
same with anyone who has worked maybe even decades of years of experience. If you ask them about the core technology, they will not know it all. It's just that how they approach
Okay.
the problems, how they're able to communicate that, okay, this is my way forward, and how they're able to make that uh, visuals or impact in
Hmm.
such a way that they are able to convince people that, okay, even if this person is not able to solve it now, given
Hmm.
resources, he will solve it later.
Yeah. Very, very true. So, just final question. I see your pre-placed mentor profile, and you have mentioned that you basically take 3 sessions per week. You are like almost immediately available on chat, and you have like do follow-ups every 2 days, and like you have your own entire structure.
Yeah.
So, how do you generally handle that? Like, what is the general process that you do? Like 3 sessions per week, or in that, do you have a discussion session, or how do you go about your tasks and everything?
Yeah, so in my sessions, I generally tend to understand what they have done. If it's a follow-up session, like maybe in past 2 days, what their journey was, what did they learn, did they uh, complete what I said? Because I tend to give tasks in such a way that, okay, they will keep the task will keep them engaged and not let their mind wander here and there. I have been come across as sort of a strict teacher, if you will,
Oh,
in
okay.
that sense. So yeah, and most of the sessions I would like to be very frank with the people, because that's the place where you can be absolutely yourself. If you don't know anything, be open with it. I am very open that I don't know a lot of stuff around,
Hmm.
and so I expect the same from whoever is trying to gain something out of me. Be frank what you absolutely need, what you don't understand, where you feel that you can do better. Be absolutely true to yourself that I don't know this, and communicate it to me so that we have a way forward to understand and make that happen.
Hmm.
Then during follow-ups, I am like, okay, I am mostly active on LinkedIn and LinkedIn chats per se. So I try to bring that to pre-plays as well. So whatever queries you have, maybe I gave you a task and you just didn't, or you got stuck somewhere, and our session is maybe 2 or 3 days from now. So I don't want people to waste their time for 2 days and then we just going through over, okay, I was not able to do this, do that. So it's better to always give some sort of hint, because I generally don't give complete answers. To my mentees, I only give hints that, okay, this is your way forward. If you're still stuck, let me know, but this is your cue. I can only give you the path. You have to run on it and grab the fruits, if you will. So, yeah, that's what I generally do. And then, yeah, tasks are there. So you can consider it as a sort of tuition, if you will.
That's yeah, that's nice. I feel your mentees would be like completely in order and very sort of sorted in their life. I wish I basically had a mentor in my life who had like so strict and someone who was on the keeping me up to my tasks and everything on a daily basis. Yeah. So we would basically all the people who would watch this video, I'm sure they would get a lot of insights out of all the experiences and advices that you have shared. We will also attach your profile link in the comments, so anybody who wants to sort of be a mentee for under Kanishk, they can just simply visit the profile and have Kanishk as a mentor. But there is only one clause there, that it takes only 5 mentees per month, and he cannot give so much effort and time behind so many mentees. So yeah, there is basically a race and an application thing. Kanishk takes. So yeah, it was wonderful talking to you, Kanishk. I am sure this video will help a lot of people who are in their preparation phase and also probably aspire to work for Apple someday, Ohio someday, and also other companies, product-based companies. So again, thanks a lot for taking out time. It was wonderful talking to you and getting your insights.
Sure. Thank you so much. It was wonderful chatting with you, Sahil.
Yeah.